So, hello everybody. Today we are at the trophy. It is the 24th edition, so next year, number 25, and also something special. But this time it is my turn to show my private collection or a part of my private collection. So I did a lineup and I start with 45 trees to end up with 15 finally that I put in display for the time. So I'm gonna walk with you and show them piece by piece and discuss them. So this is a Hokkaido Juniper. I brought this to Europe, I think about 32 years ago as raw material. There are some pictures from the start, so all the branches were like wild Yamadori. And actually the meaning of the whole thing is when you see the trees here, and you will hear the word kuzushi many times. So kuzushi means actually you build the tree up, you make a tree dense, you make them as old as possible, and from this moment you go over that point. Over the point that a tree is mature, and you show the delicacy of branches. This is actually what kuzushi means, and this is also the part that we try to show. So we never use lime sulfur anymore, we never clean the barks up anymore. So this is with an older tree. The thing that we do, we make it open, we let look inside, it's also delicate, and this has to become one piece. This has to become that old feeling that you can put. Also the moshikomi feeling from being long time in the pot is so important with that kind of trees. Also here with this Trident Maple you have the same feeling. You have the same feeling of delicate ramification, and this is in the small size. You see also by the pots that we use a lot of old pots finally. Also the table, when you look to the whole lineup, there is a movement in the lineup from higher trees, then lower, then higher again. So we give a certain flow on the whole setup. So it is not piece by piece that this lineup is made. It is one story. For me it's a personal story, it's the story of my life actually. So this Hinoki forest is just created 4 years ago. I created this during a demonstration at my place, and this is just the work of 2 hours. It was 10 hours to prepare the trees, to clean them out, but the whole composition is 2 hours. So I made everything on a slab. Then I took a hollow stone, I put them upside down, and underneath it is completely hollow. And there I start to build up the whole Hinoki forest. So this is really special to me because I put this in this lineup for the moment already between very mature trees, and still it is a quite young composition. That also proves that you don't have to bring trees from 50 years old to the trophy. You can come up, if a creation is perfect, with something that you just did in 4 years work. Also this is possible, you have to do it. This is for me very personal, because this is actually the first tree that I have from Yagumo, so from Hideo Kato. So this was also my first maple. This was my first maple, and this is now more than 30 years in Europe, 35 I think. So this is a mountain maple. You see the way of displaying, I count everything when I do this. So you have the delicate buds that coming up now. This is early spring. In front of the background, of the black background. So we also sprayed a little bit lime sulfur on the trunk and on the older branches. That is not only good for all insects and everything, but it looks so nice in front of the background. But I didn't spray the younger branches. I keep this green, I keep the buds also green, also the main branches and the trunk. And this gives such a nice effect. Also with the moss. So this is also a part of preparing a tree for a display. This Cryptomeria group, this is one piece. Also this is actually started from quite raw material from Japan. So and just by cleaning it out, it is never wired. As long as I have it, it is never wired. And I have this already more than 20 years in my collection. This is a Korean Carpinus where I did exactly the same with preparation, also the delicacy of the buds and also the white trunk. This Japonicum maple is very special to me because this comes from raw garden material actually. So this is actually something that was meant to plant in the garden, but I created those two trees together like mother and daughter, and also the smaller branch that crushed the trunk make it so special. This elegant feeling that you have is very unique for a maple. Very, very natural also. It's not that classic type of bonsai that you want to see. It's completely different. This Cascade is I brought originally from Japan. It comes from Yorizuen. And I have this about 28 years in my possession. And here you also see that kind of kuzushi feeling. The delicate branches hanging down. They are supported with very thin copper wire here and there. It's not completely wired, but it's just to express that kind of feeling again. So it's not that we made it in pads like they do, but more that hanging feeling. The table is made by one of our club members, by David, and especially made now for this exhibition to give this idea. So it is a kind of modern art now combined with the older things. It's a nice, very beautiful combination, yes. So this Seigen is also the same feeling as this Yamamomiji, also the white trunk and the white branches, and then the delicate red branches coming perfectly on the black background. Also with the moss and the old pot make it perfect. You also see on the table choice there is a lot of variation, and they are not too dominant. The table cannot take the place from the tree in. It has to stand there and do his thing, but the tree is priority. When somebody says it's a nice table, that means your tree this is not such a good compliment. This is another Hokkaido. I brought this as a raw material exactly in 1999. That came from Japan in a wooden crate, and this part here was straight. So all this was straight and was about here. So I did the first compacting was in 2000. So I made this compact, another time compact. So 3 years later, after 3 times compacting, I could start my styling. So and now also here, from Hokkaido foliage, it looks more or less like Chinensis. But this is also the best of this variety that you can get. It's very, very compact. It looks nice, open and refined. So this Larix is something I have from, I think, 2002. Originally it came as Yamadori from Italy. And I started this first styling about 2004, 2005. And now I think I have the feeling he's for the first time mature enough to show with a good delicate ramification. Also this clump style is so unique with this. I was thinking about making a raft from it on the beginning, but it looks better now. Originally the pot was made by one of my personal potters, by Andreas, and I let him make a kind of slab, but that gives the idea it stands on a cliff. Still you have that feeling that it stands on a cliff. And this is my first bonsai ever. Huh? You can see this at the first Ginkgo award book on the cover, but then with a piece of deadwood next to it. That piece of deadwood fell off over the years. Now this is what left. And originally, when I find the tree, it was a triple trunk, one died off, and then it was a double trunk, and one died off, and then it was a single trunk with a piece of deadwood, and now it's just a very delicate single trunk. I talk about, in my possession, must be now 43 years or something. 43, 44 years. Started with what I started, and every time a piece or a branch falls off, this tree becomes more unique. This is the good thing by seeing things dying off. This is working with living material. And as you know, the name of my garden was always Ginkgo Bonsai Center. So, should be a ginkgo in my lineup. Otherwise, I forgot something. So this is a ginkgo that is not so long in my possession, because this was a Taikan 10 tree 3 years ago. So this is probably the tree that is less long in my collection than all the others. Instead of this one, this is a cutting I took 30 years ago. It's just a small cutting from a privet, from a ligustrum. And from that cutting, I start to learn how to develop by yourself your bonsai. Also, this had a hollow trunk and had everything. And I needed actually in this whole lineup a couple of smaller trees. So by telling the story of my life, actually, I needed things that I say, okay, I need things that I start from nothing. I also wanted to prove that you can show in an exhibition of that level that you can come up with a tree, that you make a cutting or a seedling. And if you have time enough, if you have 30 years, you can make this to that level. This is possible. So the proof is by this one and by many others here that this should be possible. This is also an own creation, but a very special creation, because everybody likes Itoigawa, but this is an Itoigawa from the time that you could find Itoigawa as Yamadori. So now it are all cultivated trees from Itoigawa, but that was an original Yamadori, came from Japan in a wooden crate, and it was actually that high. So this piece was actually down here, and it lays flat in a wooden crate. So it costed me about 12 years to make this whole live vein strong enough that it could support himself. In the meantime, the work on the tree started, and I wanted to make all the time look like a very special bunjin. No rules, pure nature. There are no rules with bunjin. So I can turn this tree 5 times, and you're gonna end up 5 times with a perfect front. So this is built so like that. So I needed this front now to end up my lineup. So I needed that the tree was looking over the line. So this was now the choice of the front. Normally when I present them single in a tokonoma, this will be the front. So those trees are quite unique to do that with. You can play with it as much as you want, but also here the delicacy of the refinement of the branches. This is the look that you have to give on an old tree. So if a tree is old enough and the bark is old enough from bottom to top with an old bark, you never clean this up anymore. You never use lime sulfur anymore to whiten the deadwood. And also the delicacy of these young branches, they have to look that they are old as well. Many people do the opposite. With material like that, they start to clean up everything, they wire everything, they thin everything out, they're working with the younger material and they make a new one. So we try to keep the delicacy in this foliage, selected out, selected the younger material from between the older ones, and from there we start to what we call kujushi. Kujushi means a tree, build it up, mature, and let it go from there. That's the short vision of kujushi trees, what you find mainly in my collection.